Hey everyone, sorry about that before. I was in a hotel room, and of course with my loud voice, people were knocking on the door. So I'm going to start again and go through the same content. Now you'll forgive me because I'm reading from something that I wrote down because it's very important. Do you know, I want to know why we have not been given a public apology. An independent review held by Peter Sheargold, one of the most respected public servants, whatever that means, on both sides of the fence, says that what's happened in the last 2 years has been nothing more than absolutely disgraceful. A disgraceful act that was perpetrated upon the people of Australia. These people, these evil people, to their eternal shame, Palaszczuk, Berejiklian, of course, dictator, demonic Dan, whose day will come. And I don't know, I got a bad feeling about you, Dan, at the moment. I got a bad feeling, Dan, about you at the moment. I think, Dan, you got a lot that you're hiding, Dan. Keep your ears open. I'll have more to say about that later. But in this report, they said that they found this. This is over 300 experts in the area of whatever their area is. I get so sick and tired of these experts. They said, according to the Australian newspaper, they reported and reviewed after exhausting research from 200 health experts and epidemiologists. A question, where were these people during all this stuff? Where were they? Oh, that's right. They got silenced by the medical profession and silenced by the government and received paychecks to support the pandemic. Now, of course, they're heroes because these people have come out and said, oh, you know, what was done to you was wrong. Well, where's the punishment? Where is the punishment? They surmised that the shutdowns were inhumane. You remember, got a dying parent, you can't see them. You got a kid in hospital, can't see them. The lockdowns in a state where we had 7 states, these 7 despots, instead of treating us as a federation, dealt with us like we were all separate states. Now, I'm sorry if the camera shakes. I forgot my stand. I'm just doing it by hand here. The Sydney Morning Herald and The Age said that the poorest communities were hit the hardest. 1 in 5 kids did not have a computer. 3,000 kids dropped out or disappeared out of the public school system. While government officials got pay rises, many of these government officials, like the Palaszczuks and the Dan Andrews and the Gladys Berejiklians, them and their health officials, Young got appointed to Attorney General, and the one in Sydney, she looked like she needed to go get some medication herself. Her and that recalcitrant bully, Brad Hazzard, every day got themselves on TV. This was their moment in glory. They're going to save the world. Well, it's now proven that what they did to us was inhumane, unjust, and caused nothing but grief, turmoil. Businesses gone bankrupt. Weren't we saying this for 2 years? Oh, by the way, have you seen the latest reports that have come out of Europe and the United States about the so-called Jabathonians and the companies, the Jabathonian companies, you know the ones? Did they test this thing to see if it worked? Answer is no, they never did. But governments were more than happy, and churches, I might add. Hey, by the way, some of my church friends out there that called me a conspiracy theorist basically black banned me. That's what you've done. And you've done it. I'll tell you how you guys did it. You didn't write it. You went through the secret corridors and whispered. I know exactly how the system works. And I know exactly who you are as well. But here's what gets me. Where's the apology? Where's the apology from the media? Where's the apology from the churches? Like the Salvation Army that stopped elderly women going in to a cafe to have coffee on the Central Coast. And then you come knocking on the door because you want money. William Booth would be turning in his grave. He'd have kicked you out of the Salvation Army faster than he can say, put money in a box. But where is the apology? None. No apology from Channel 9, no apology from Carl, no apology from Koshy, no apology from the shock jocks. This is their own darn report. The experts now are saying that the Jabathonian, that didn't work, didn't stop the spread. This is an absolute disgrace on our nation. History will prove that people like me and people like you were right. But they vilified us, beat us up. Have you seen some of the guys they beat up? Cops punching people straight in the face, beating up, they're throwing pregnant women to the ground. Now, when they go to court, they throw these things out of court. I tell you what, I hope some of you that happened to, that you have your day in court and sue them for everything they've got. The overreach, the tanks going down Melbourne, the spraying of rubber bullets, and now the experts, 200 of them apparently, headed up by Peter Shigel. Hey, Peter, where the heck were you when this was happening? You don't need a royal commission to figure out that what was going on was absolutely evil, wrong, despicable, and should never happen again. The government did a great job of destroying our economy, and now we've got to feel sorry for Health Hazard. Brad Hazard, like a coward that he is, the bully. Bullies are always cowards. They can see the writing on the wall. Him, David Elliott, all of them, they've all quit. They're all using excuses. Oh, David Elliott, Hazard. Oh, his brother died. You didn't give one toss for anyone else's family when they died. Why should we show sympathy to you? Oh, Pat, you're supposed to be a Christian. Well, let me tell you something. I'm a Christian, but I tell you what, I'm a pretty angry one. And for those of you who think I need anger management, let me remind you, Jesus was angry. Bob says, be angry and sin not. The problem with many people and many church leaders is they're not angry enough. They're not angry at the agenda. They're not angry at the transgender agenda. They're not angry at what's happening to our jobs. They're not angry enough. That's your problem. And I've got a right to be angry. But Hazard, this man who vilified a great man of God, Bishop Marmari, this man who went and overrid parents, set up shooting galleries for kids. This man, Hazard, who went and just told everyone, go and get vaccinated. You arrogant man. You know what? Sometimes you got to take the trash to the curb and let it go out. But you know what? They got their paychecks. They got their money. They got their pay rises. They've got their continual, until they die, these people get paid at your expense, my expense. We the ones that were vilified. We the ones that were laughed at. We the ones that were bullied. We the ones that had the overreach. We the ones that were locked down. We're still got to pay these public despots and dictators. I'll never forget watching that Hazard every day, getting up, being like a bully, calling people like Bishop Marmari and myself and others basically idiots and blah, blah, blah. Well, it's a matter of public health. Well, guess what? Your Jabathonian companies are now saying they never even tested anything to see if it actually worked. But of course, you guys have got your paychecks now. Like Judas, you took your money and you run. Like Judas, many of you will have a bad ending. Because Goliath don't end well. People say, oh, Pat, shouldn't you feel sorry for Hazard? He lost people. He lost his brother, so that's why he's quitting. If you believe that, you believe the same garbage he told you every day. I'm not buying that for one split second. He knows the writing's on the wall and they're running like cowards. And I'll make another prediction. I predict that Dominic Perrottet will not be the Liberal leader within 12 months if he lasts, because lurking behind him is a Judas in Matt Kean. This darling of the left, this guy ought to just run and be a teal. That's what he ought to do. Michael is coming after you. And again, sadly, I supported Dominic Perrottet. Mind you, he's better than Berejiklian. But sadly, they're all cut from the same cloth. And now let's get to the UK. I said last week, and I predicted, this guy, I keep forgetting his name, Rishi Sunak, would be the next Prime Minister of the UK. Why is that? Well, he's a globalist. He's committed to a cashless society, digital currency, which is very different from things like crypto. Do not get the two confused. Do not do that. It's actually the very opposite. Crypto and that is very opposite. But this globalist guy, who is, by the way, married to a billionaire, she has 2 bankrupt companies during COVID, owing something like £1.5 million of unpaid taxes. I wonder if she'll be paying those back. Anyway, but her hubby now is a PM. And this guy is one of Klaus Schwab's World Economic Forum guys. God help the UK. But you know what? I don't give up that easy, and neither should you. I believe that we are about to experience something amazing. Now, tomorrow, let me tell you, one of the greatest economic forecasters, Gerald Celente, I have never had such a response to a webinar as I have with Gerald. It's blown us. We had to expand our Zoom. I think we've got about 200 spots left. We have over 3,000 people registered for tomorrow. And guess what? I'm coming live on tour. I've got my awakening events on the Gold Coast and Hervey Bay and Perth, but I'm doing a financial freedom summit tour. We're coming to Sydney. We're coming to Melbourne. Oh, I'm so looking forward to being in Dan's territory. Oh, I'm looking forward to that one. We're coming to Sydney. We're coming to Melbourne, and we're coming to Brisbane. Live, 1 day only. 1 day only. Now, the link for that is in the description in the chat. And I want to encourage you all to be part of that. You've asked us to come to your live. Well, we are. This is not the awakening rallies. These are financial summit rallies. But we're also having our awakening rallies. And I'll put that link up. I think my wife is watching. She could put the link up for those as well. The awakening rallies in Hervey Bay and on the Gold Coast. Gold Coast first and then Hervey Bay. Admission is free for that. By the way, admission is free for our Ultimate Financial Summit event. It's a 1 day only. I'm bringing some of my financial people with me because you need to be equipped in these financial times. Anyway, I'm looking forward to tomorrow's event with Gerald Celente. Again, 3,000 registered, about 100 seats left. Avail yourself of one. I know it's going to bless you. And all I can say is about Brad Hazzard is good riddance to a bully and a thug and a disrespecter of people of faith. Don't let the back door hit you where the good Lord split you, my friend Brad. Actually, not my friend. You were a disgrace then. To me, in my eyes, you're still a disgrace now. And I don't feel one bit of sympathy because of the way you treated people, particularly the poor people of the southwest of Sydney. While your Bondi friends enjoyed the beach, you had drones, lockdown, and fear running through the streets, all under the guise of health, I might add, because you were the health minister, even though you've never studied health, even though you weren't a doctor, even though you didn't test the product that you were pushing. I hope you have a fun retirement because we won't be missing you. All right, everyone. See you tomorrow. God bless you. Look forward to seeing you on the tour. Bye.